What is the scariest example of medical negligence you've seen? 2. I was 6 months pregnant with a very healthy pregnancy. I went to get out of the car, which was not difficult at 6 months along. I swung my legs out and my feet touched the ground, then all of a sudden I was hysterically crying, snot pouring out of my nose, screaming in pain. Pain level 9. My husband got me to the ER, where I kept yelling at everyone that it hurt above my uterus and it wasn't pregnancy related. Up to the maternity ward they take me despite my insistence that it wasn't pregnancy related. I laid flat on my back and pain eased up to tolerable. Pain level 5. Red flag. A 6-month pregnant woman won't want to lie flat on her back. The baby checked out fine, just as I knew he would. This same scenario happened 8 times over the next month and a half, and no one would listen that it was not pregnancy related. Finally, on that 8th time I was admitted because now I'm seen as a pain med seeker and they wanted to do an early delivery because I'm now an unfit mother. Keep in mind that I have declined pain meds every single time they were offered. I wouldn't be able to describe my symptoms if they covered them up with pain meds. A new sonographer comes into my hospital room to do a long ultrasound to make sure the baby is making breathing motions so they could deliver early via C-section. This is my 3rd kid and I've only delivered vaginally. Before she came in I could hear the nurses telling her how I was just after pain meds and they were going to have a social worker take the baby as soon as it was born. So at this point I'm horrified. My mom, husband and 13-year-old daughter had just stepped out to get something to eat, so I was alone when I overheard the evil nurses. The sonographer gets set up with her machine and looks at me in the most loving and caring way and asks about my pain. I tell her everything because I'm distraught, angry and confused. I need to let it all out. I tell her no one has even examined the area in pain and it's been over a month. She asked if she can try to see something with the ultrasound. Yes, please! Exclamation mark. She puts the wand above my uterus, squints at the screen and says, "What is that?" Then she says, "Bear down." So I did and she completely freaked out, ran out to the nurse's station and proceeded to yell very loudly at all the nurses about negligence and how could they do this to another human being. It turned out that an internal incision from having my gallbladder removed had ripped open and my intestines were bulging. I finally got to see a general surgeon and get some answers. He left my room door open so I could hear him chew out the nursing staff and my midwife. It was glorious. I delivered at 40 weeks with a very easy labor and delivery. The baby was perfectly healthy. The surgeon repaired the hernia and life is good again. 3. I had a 38-pound ovarian cyst removed when I was 16. You read that right? 38 pounds. The surgeon drained a total of 5 gallons of fluid, 18 liters, and reduced it to the size of a basketball before removing it along with one of my ovaries. The negligence wasn't on his part. It was a couple years before the surgery when I visited an urgent care clinic because of the severe pain I was experiencing during my menstrual cycle. The nurse practitioner barely examined me and gave me a prescription for IBS and sent me on my way. My poor dad, who was raising 2 girls on his own, didn't think to question the diagnosis since female puberty wasn't his strong suit. I just dealt with the pain and tried to lose weight. People were always asking me if I was pregnant. 2 years later, I was one of 7 passengers in a 4-door sedan that was involved in a high-speed accident. No one was seriously injured because we were packed in like sardines. But my dad wanted me to go get checked out anyway. The nurse at the ER thought I was pregnant, and I said, "Unless I'm the next Virgin Mary, there's no way I'm pregnant." She didn't believe me and made me get an ultrasound, and that's when they found it. 2 weeks later, I had surgery. I was told that even though it was benign, it would have crushed all my organs within a year. It started when I was about 11, so, for 5 years, it just kept growing. I didn't realize how much pain I was in until it was gone. That car accident saved my life.